Hello and welcome. We'll be starting soon. So if you have any questions, I'll be doing personalized readings here in a minute. So if you want a question answered, you can drop it in the comments. I'm going to be doing collective readings as well. Hello and welcome. We'll be starting the readings here in just a minute. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll get to the readings later if you want a question answered. I'm just gonna get these decks cleaned up. Welcome. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments there, and I'll get to those in a minute when we do individual readings. Hello and welcome, everyone. I appreciate you being here. I'm just getting these decks cleansed and ready for the readings. I hope everyone's doing well today. Is everyone ready for us to enter Mercury into retrograde in a couple days? Your electronics messing up? I've had to restart my phone at least 4 times today. I don't know if anyone else is having trouble with their electronics. Yes, Grand Rising. Oh, welcome. I'm glad to see you again. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Rosa. Yeah. We're going to pull from the Divine Masters deck today and the Gateway of Light activation. And I'm expecting Archangel Michael to be here with us. I have a very strong feeling. When I've drawn from these decks the last couple times, back to back, I've drawn his sword, I've drawn Michael. So if you feel Michael, let me know in the comments. I'm feeling him very strongly today. This is Palo Santo. We're just using it to smoke cleanse these cards and clear all the energy off so we get a fresh reading for you today. So again, welcome. I'm glad you're here with me. Thank you so much. I'm not having it with Mercury retrograde. I'm a Virgo. I'm going through the harsh reality while remaining calm, so I'm happy I caught you. Yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy one, but we are going into Pisces, so this is a good time to do a lot of self-reflection and to explore our internal states. So there are some positives that might come along with this here. Yep, small bowl. Actually, I'm using the small one to collect the Palo Santo ash, and I'm using that to create tar water for ceremonies. Alright, almost done. So everyone's doing well today. My daughter's Pisces. She's the opposite of Virgo. There you go. Little synchronicity right there. This is a raven feather that I got when I was out hiking one day. I asked for it, and a raven dropped it right in front of my feet. So I love this feather. It's great for cleansing. A gift from the Sky Father. Tar water. It is used in ceremonies. If you're having a lot of negative energy or negative interactions with your environment, it is a solution here. I have a little bit made already. I can show you. I just put it in a spray bottle like this. So you just collect like ash from incense. So you can do like mercury or not mercury, myrrh, frankincense, Palo Santo. So this is the Palo Santo ash. And so I collect it in the bowl there. So I've been burning the pieces. Then I dump that into the water. And I don't know if you can see it. I have a piece of Lumerian quartz in there, but yeah, you can see some of the ash floating around in there. And then so you take this and you spray it on your doors, your windows, mirrors, just a squirt of it, and then with the intention set, it helps ground out negative, low vibrational energies or entities. So if you have any negative spirits that are coming to you, or you're being bombarded with spirits, if you're medium and you're just getting overwhelmed with it, this will help clear the space so that they don't overwhelm you per se. So it helps to keep your area. I use it just in my bedroom. I don't mind spirits, talking with me, but it's like when I'm in this space, I want to kind of be left alone. So the tar water helps with that sort of thing. There's a lot of other things you can do, like red brick dust. You can sprinkle outside your house to make a barrier. There's tons of different methodologies out there. This is just the one that I'm working on right now, is the tar water. But yeah, there's tons of different things you can do. All right, so let's begin. We're going to start with the Divine Masters deck. Lower racial beings and malintentions harshly surrounding me won't accept my boundaries. Yeah, tar water. Try some tar water. Also burn Palo Santo. That's what I'm burning right here. And then I don't know if you do Reiki or not. You can do Shoku Rei symbols, which are, you just draw like a 7 in the air, and then you do 3 swirls in. That's Shoku Rei. It's the power of the universe is there. So you can put those intentions over your doorways, your windows, your mirrors, to ground that stuff out where you sleep. Like do it over your bed. And then I'll send a prayer your way and ask Michael to be with you and to help with that low vibrational stuff. Yeah. Also, I recommend black tourmaline. Black tourmaline bracelets. I wear them all the time. Oh, where'd my ring go? I left it in the bathroom. I have a black tourmaline ring I'm almost always wearing. Let me grab that too. Black tourmaline. It's my best friend. I also use what is it called? I'm totally blanking on it right now. This is my other ring I was wearing. I've had like 5 of these. Literally, I'll be wearing them and they will explode off of my finger. I'll be just standing here and it'll crack and just fall apart off of my hand. I've had 5 of them do that. So I too need a lot of protection and grounding, and these things absorb malachite. Yes. The malachite absorbs it and just explodes off my finger. This is literally the 5th one I've had this year. I'm not hitting them. I'm not doing anything. They just explode. I can't keep them on me. They break constantly. Okay, so let's begin. So this will be for the general energetic reading for everybody here, and anyone who comes in and joins us. This will just be a general reading that's going to tell us what to expect in this coming week, especially with us going into Mercury in retrograde coming up in 2 days. So let us see what the Divine Masters have in store for us. So Archangel Michael, please be with us here today and guide my hand as we bring through this collective message for all those out there waiting to hear this answer. Thank you. Melchizedek. I just had shuffled this back into the deck earlier. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Melchizedek, divine knowledge, higher learning, commit to your vision through study. So this is the order. You have Melchizedek, who's the leader of the order of Melchizedek, but you also have the order of Melchizedek, which I believe is talked about in Kyle Gray's other oracle card deck here, the Gateway of Light Activation. But what Melchizedek wants us to know is that it's important to actually like study our craft, study our future, like what we want to commit ourselves to learning. So I just the other day, it was funny. I had drawn this exact card, and I was out at Balboa Park here in San Diego, and this monk was standing there, and he stopped me, and he's like, "You look like you live in the ashram," and I'm like, "I don't, but thank you." And he's like, "I want you to have these," so he just gave me the Bhagavad Gita and a book on Krishna. And so this is just another way, like I was saying, this is all about divine knowledge and learning. So I'm not a Hindu at all, but the idea of learning these different texts, these ancient texts of wisdom, is what this card is talking about. Broaden your knowledge base. You don't have to accept everything you read as your truth, but by opening up and taking more in, we expose ourselves to more ideas and more concepts from our own human limited perspective there. So by bridging out, learning, reading, and growing, we're going to help not only ourselves but others as we learn more about ourselves. So that's about Melchizedek. Before I drew these cards, like I was saying, I had this is where I keep my cards regularly up on this altar here when I'm not using them. And it's funny because Melchizedek was in one of the 7 cards I had in my life path spread. So it was Joan of Arc. It was Hilarion, Jesus. Then it was, oh goodness, I'm blanking on one, but it was Archangel Michael, Metatron and Sandalphon. And then it was Joan of Arc, Melchizedek, and goodness, I'm not remembering the last one. But I'm feeling that we're gonna get some of those repeats, and we already got Melchizedek coming through. So yes, guidance comes in all form. Yes, I agree. All right. So the next card coming through for our collective here is Mavahar Babaji, Spiritual Awakening, Interconnectedness, Understand the Inner Workings. So I was actually considering, and I'm probably going to post this video either today or tomorrow. It's going to be talking about this time right now where we're planting these seeds, and it might feel like we're in a state of dormancy or a state of chaos or a state of not an ideal state, if you will. People strive to be high vibe, happy, loving, all those sort of things with him, but it's a duality, yin and yang, dark and light. So we might find ourselves in the middle right now, or in a darker place than what we would prefer to be in. But it's all part of the same cycle. It's all like Green Tar talks about, this healing pattern that goes round and round in circles. And so this is, I love this one. It's Spiritual Awakening, because the message of the video is, yes, we are in a state of chaos or darkness right now, but this awakening will soon happen. We're on the cusp of it. You could consider it like you're in a chrysalis right now. We're in the middle of a metamorphosis, and so on the other side of that metamorphosis is a spiritual awakening. You might be feeling that right now, but if you're not feeling it this moment, hang in there. You're going to be feeling it soon. And it reminds us that we are all interconnected. I was thinking about this yesterday in meditation. I had this vision where it started off with this blackness, and in the blackness there was Earth, and so you could see Earth, floating there in space, and then you could see people on Earth. But then there were these like energetic cords coming in, and there were the cords that were coming down and attaching to everybody. And then above that, high up, you could see it was like a side-on perspective. And up here in the top, you could see these light beings, angels, whatever you want to call them, and they had these cords going down to the people. And in between the people, there was this purple, like these purple lines. So the perspective shifted, so it was top-down looking, and you could see it looked like a spider web kind of. And these were like different timelines or different, I don't want to say dimensions, but different outcomes along a path. So instead of thinking of time as a straight line that just bends, there's multiple forks that are overlapping repeatedly. And these lines were being directed not only by, these light beings, but also by us on Earth here through our actions or inactions. And then we work with these people, and they can help guide our path. And so there was this whole feeling of interconnectedness, because when you realize that we're all part of this one, consciousness, and I've been reading a lot about, like reincarnation stories of, like verified accounts where a child tells their parents, I have these memories, and then the parents are so dumbfounded by it, and they go and they talk to some doctors, and the doctors do independent research without, telling the kid what happened, and they're able to verify the story the kid was saying without talking to one another. So how does this, 6-year-old know about the death of this, this person 50 years ago? It's mind blowing. And so that just again leads to this whole interconnectedness thing. So I believe that we are much more than our physical bodies, and we are, these energetic beings experiencing this human experience right now. And that's how I remember this interconnectedness part. Yes, the caterpillar caterpillar mush before the butterfly appears. Thank you for confirming what I've been feeling. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that one comes to me a lot. The butterfly metamorphosis one. It's very, I think, it's a powerful metaphor, and very apt for people going through these spiritual cycles, especially if you're in a dark night of the soul where it feels like you might watch videos on YouTube or see people that you are connected with spiritually in real life, and maybe they seem like everything's going well for them, and you're like looking at yourself like, why am I not experiencing what they're experiencing? It's not about that. It's about realizing that this is a never-ending path. We are moving forward, and this is all part of that journey. So the ups and the downs, it's all interconnected. It's all part of the same thing. So right now, I know a lot of people are feeling in the void, or feeling lower than they want to, and I just want to remind you that it's a wave. We're gonna go up, we're gonna go down, we're gonna go up, we're gonna go down. That's just how it works. And if you're feeling really low right now, remember, the lower you are, the higher you're gonna go, because this is physics. It's like every action deserves an equal and opposite reaction. So if you press down like on a spring and we go real far down, think of all the pressure you're putting into that, all the power you're compressing down. And when you let go of that spring, it's gonna shoot off. That's us. That's where you're gonna be. So don't let the feeling of being the world's pressure going down on you feel like it's too much. Remember, you're about to blast off. So just keep that in mind. Lady Venus, light activation, call to action, power surge, Earth mission. Talking about power surges and blasting off. Well, here's Lady Venus talking about the exact same thing. So this is another time when we're having these awakenings. Some people feel lost. What am I going to do now? Everything I used to know feels hollow and empty. So if you resonate as a light worker, for instance, we are here to share our light and spread healing and love. And how do you do that? Well, sometimes these light workers, we have to go through really tough things so that we can be there and empathize on a deep level, where we can connect and know what those people have been going through, and we can then turn around and show people how to walk that path you just traveled. Think of yourself as a wilderness survival instructor. They don't become a wilderness survival instructor by sitting in their house one day, never leaving outside, and then they just suddenly go, oh, I know everything, I can become a wilderness survival instructor. I'm just going to take in students and classes, we're just going to go out into the wilderness and we're going to learn together. You'd kill people, right? I mean, that's dangerous. They need to go out there and experience it themselves. They need to go out there and they need to experience what it's like to run low on water, or to not be able to find shelter, or how scary it is if you can't start a fire at night. And once they've had those experiences and they've learned from those things, they can take that back and they can teach people how to survive those situations because they've done it themselves. And that's the same thing we're doing here. These struggles you're feeling, it's all life lessons that you can then take and teach other people with what you're learning. So we're going to do one more from the Divine Masters deck, and then we will pull from the Gateway of Light activation. And then if anyone's interested, I will do individual readings like I've talked about, and then I can also do some energy clearings for those who are interested. Again, no charge, all free, just stick around. If you wouldn't mind liking the video, it helps the algorithm, let people know that this is interesting and engaging, and that it can find more people. Other than that, it's all free. And I just appreciate you being here. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I enjoy being able to talk with you. The Atlanteans, evolution, vibration, legacy, technology, progress, expect acceleration. Things are about to blast off. We were just talking about that with Lady Venus, that spring metaphor. Things are about to go crazy. The Atlanteans, they were a high vibrational species that obviously lived a long time ago, and there's lots of different rumors about what happened to them, but the one I'm familiar with was that there was this giant crystal that helped power the city, and they kept pulling more and more from it because they were being more and more greedy with it. And eventually they overloaded it, and Atlantis blew up, sunk, whatever you want to say. But the point was they were misusing their powers. And so it's up to us to not repeat that same mistake. I know a lot of not light beings, but light workers were incarnated on Atlantis, and they're coming back again. So it's our chance to actually make a difference this time. And apologies, my parrots are in the background making a ruckus. And yes, I love synchronicities that happen all the time. Has anyone seen 222 repeating a lot? I've seen it off the charts. It's just crazy. Reading when it comes. Yep, I'll get you a reading when it comes time, definitely. But yeah, for a while there, I wasn't seeing lots of angel numbers. I was kind of like having a drought in the seeing of those synchronicities. But man, the last 3 days, it's nuts. I was driving down the street, and I saw, and it wasn't just like a price at a store. You can see $9.99 at the store and be like, oh, it's a synchron. Sometimes, not say it's not always, but most of the time you're like, that's just the price, right? But you're driving down the street, and I saw a phone number that was just all threes, so it was just 33333, and then right after that, it was a set of numbers that was on a license plate, and it was 44444, and then after that, I forget where it was, but I saw a set of fives, then a set of sixes, so it was just this growing number of the numbers back. Every time I look, it was like that's the next number. So yeah. I am so sorry. Something just popped up. I'm going to have to pause this, and I'll be right back on the live stream in a minute. Sorry, everybody. I will be back though.